next 10 minutes or so, just close your eyes, relax, take a deep breath. Rest in the presence of Holy Spirit.
Ganganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Galadhura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Galadhura Hamare. Ganganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Omekadantaya Vidmahi Vakrajandaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Ganganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Galadhura Hamare. gananatadaya niti sakala vignakara hamari. Jai Ganesha gananatadaya niti sakala vignakara hamari. Jai Ganesha gananatadaya niti sakala vignakara hamari. Jai Ganesha gananatadaya niti sakala vignakara hamari.
Namaste.
Welcome.
Welcome to our weekly online Satsang. Satsang means community of truth, but a simpler understanding would just be any spiritual community where two or more people come together who are on the spiritual path, you have a satsang. And it's a very important part of what's necessary to really grow and deepen spiritually on the path of awakening. Sharing our journey with others that are also awakening, whose hearts are flowering, who are being transformed into higher states of consciousness. And that must be why you're here. So welcome. And do be sure to give us a like or a love. I'm seeing a heart down at my bottom of my chat, but there's either a thumbs up or a heart or some other options. Hope you don't give us the crying face. We want everyone to be happy. I know that's a tall order in today's world, which is why people need to awaken swiftly. We're living in a world that is very challenged right now, and it's because the global civilization is built on a foundation of competition, conflict, and violence. That needs to be replaced with a whole new global civilization rooted in cooperation, harmony instead of conflict, and peace instead of war. That can only happen when people's hearts begin to flower. Humanity has been trying for thousands of years to get past this war thing, and we haven't done it. There have been beautiful religious movements that were aimed at doing that. I think all of them, all the great world religions, emerged with the idea of bringing peace to humanity and to the world. And yet, all the great religious movements have generated untold wars. Even the Eastern religions, you might not know that, but religion just has a history of that. There have been some great philosophical movements aimed at helping humanity to awaken beyond the ego, beyond the separate self, and all the conflicts and competition that generates. And those philosophical movements, while they may have influenced people's thinking, didn't actually change people's lives. And of course, there have been political movements and aimed at the idea of bringing equality and sharing and peace on earth. From Western democracy to various socialist and communist movements, there was an idea in all of those of somehow fixing the world. And look at it. So what actually has to happen is we need to awaken beyond the ego, beyond the separate self, so that we feel our oneness with each other and with nature. If we experienced oneness with nature, we wouldn't destroy the planet or the environment. If we experienced oneness with each other, we'd look into each other's eyes and see ourselves looking back at us through the eyes of the other. Because when we awaken, we discover there is one universal being expressing itself through all of this and through each of us. When we go deep enough inside, we discover oneness with Source, oneness with the divine. And we discover that we're both the same people. We're all the same person. Very unique. Each one of us, 7.5 billion or so humans, are so different. But when we go deep enough, it's the same being. Call it what you will. Call it Bodhi, call it God, call it the light, call it universal consciousness. So many names for it. But at the heart of all things is the one being of pure unconditional love. If enough of us awaken to that reality, competition will fall away. Conflict will fall away. Wars will cease throughout the earth, but there need to be enough of us. We're moving in that direction. People awaken one at a time, not all 7.5 billion at once. But many of us see a time when we reach critical mass, or like the 100th monkey you may have read about, where enough people begin to awaken and flower that it spreads out like the most unstoppable contagion through the collective consciousness. Talk about something that can't be stopped. The global pandemic of unconditional love and enlightenment. And we are we're moving, we're inching toward it. I know it doesn't always feel like it, especially right now on this planet, but it's happening. And you're part of the answer. So keep going. And trust. Keep your eyes on the prize. I think somebody else said that before me. I think that was Martin Luther King Jr. He was right. And when you found something that is so essentially true and transforming, there's often great opposition and great prices to pay along the way. But if we keep our eyes on that goal, we will get there. And satsangs like this are a part of it. We're sharing throughout the Flowering Heart Satsang what we call the Flowering Heart Blessing. It has a Sanskrit name, but it's simply a gift of grace directly from the divine source to catalyze awakening in the flowering of the heart in the receiver. When the divine gave it to Suzanne and me about 7 years ago, the instructions were very clear. Tell people that this blessing comes directly from me. It doesn't come through a spiritual organization or hierarchy or avatar or saint or master or anything like that. It comes directly from the divine itself. And tell them it supports whatever path they're on. And it's grace, which means you don't have to pay for it. Grace means a free gift, basically, a gift of love. And so there's no charge for the Flowering Heart Blessing. And we give it away. And you can give it away too, because the divine also said, tell them that anyone who receives this grace, and this grace is awakened consciousness. It is the very essence of enlightenment. It is fully divine because it is the spiritual awareness and presence of the divine itself. Tell people when they receive this, they're initiated to be able to share it with others, either in prayer, meditation, at a distance, holding an intention in your heart and just inviting the divine to pour the Flowering Heart Blessing through you to whoever or whatever people or situation that you're holding in your heart. And the divine does all the rest. Or with someone in your physical presence, with informed consent, let them know this is going to change things. And with their consent and understanding that awakening is going to be catalyzed in them. The flowering of the heart in oneness with God, with the divine, is going to begin to unfold from the center of their being. You just lightly lay your hands on their head, invite the divine inwardly to let the Flowering Heart Blessing flow through you to give this person whatever they need to be awakened and transformed, and that's it. Just step back, and the divine does all the rest. We don't need to visualize anything. We don't need to pray some prayer or formula or use a mantra or anything like that. It's all the action of divine grace flowing through us as vessels, as instruments. So that's you tonight. So please join us in sharing the Flowering Heart Blessing with all the participants, those who are with us tonight, those that will be watching later, tomorrow, in the next week, in the months and even years ahead. People find these videos and watch them. And the amazing thing is, because spirit is unbounded by time or space, that it's exactly as if they're here with us right now. The feeling, the energy, the presence, the action of grace. The divine knew that that person was going to tune into this recording a year from now. And spirit is everywhere present, always, now, here. And so we hold an intention for the people that will be watching the recording of this, which is a good thing tonight, because I realized when we started, I went to Vimeo, and it runs, we stream this to Vimeo, Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn. But I realized when I went to Vimeo, which is our primary streaming host, it said this will start at 10 o'clock. Well, where'd they get that? Evidently, unless you live in our particular time zone, we have people join us from all over the world. and they're real regular with us, who are in other countries and other continents. They may not know that the clocks went forward for us in the wee hours of the morning, Sunday morning. And so there are going to be a bunch of people that are going to be tuning into this about the time we're finished tonight. But that's okay. So hold them also in your intentions and your blessings as we go forward. I think most of you are familiar with what we do here. Yeah, it did. Everybody that went to Vimeo got told it was an hour later. Well, okay. But I already asked you to give us a like or a love, and I see you're doing that. We appreciate it, because then we can see who drops in. And people who can't watch this till later tonight or tomorrow in the days ahead, they also leave. They hear this and they leave likes too. So we get a sense of who dropped in over the next days, weeks, and ongoing. But after this introduction, okay, and Carolyn says, luckily I just tuned in an hour earlier. Didn't know about the time change. See? It's so annoying. We go through this stuff with times on webcasts and meetings every time there's a time change, because we're connected with so many people in other time zones, and a lot of them don't have this thing called daylight savings that we go through, where we fall back in the fall an hour and we spring forward an hour in spring. So that's what just happened.
Good intuition.
Yeah, good for you, Carol. Yeah, and I could say, well, everybody that didn't make it, they just weren't being led by the Spirit. But that really wouldn't be fair, would it? No, it wouldn't. So I didn't say that. Actually, I did, but erase. So after this introduction of what we're doing, what we're here to do, we open it to questions and answers about the spiritual journey. And this is where you come in. We all have questions. We all have, because as long as you still have a mind. Now, you may be completely out of your mind, which is full awakening, which is awesome. But as long as there's a part of you that's still dealing with the mind generates questions non-stop. Well, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to fix that? What if you had only done that last year? What do you think's going to happen next week? I mean, the mind just comes up with, just cranks out questions. It's true about our spiritual path too. The mind will present puzzles to us. Why isn't my meditation getting deeper? I feel like I'm on a plateau, or I think I'm awakened. Something has happened. Give me some clarity on this. There's so many questions about the spiritual journey. And even though each of us has a uniquely different journey, so they won't be exactly the same. So you can't just pattern your roadmap on my spiritual journey or Suzanne's or some other spiritual teacher. Yours will be unique, and yet they parallel in some ways, where we all go through similar challenges and similar processes along the way. So when you ask a question, it inspires the divine to inspire us with clarity and answers that we can share, and it helps all of us. So please do that, and we love them. And you come up with such good ones. So we'll wait a few minutes. Then after we've spent as much time as we can, or there are no questions that come in because we're all out of our minds tonight, we go into, though we're giving the blessing now, we'll all focus on the divine at the center, and we will take special intentions for miracles and special graces from the divine for each of you, and whatever particular burdens or needs or challenges you brought here tonight. And we'll conclude with the open eye light meditation, which we talk about when we get there. Well, somebody asks a question about that. Flip back over here, yeah. Okay. So, we'll wait just a few minutes, or this could end up being a rather abbreviated satsang. I hope not, because we just love spending time with you. It's just so nice. And, yeah. Well, I'm not in a hurry. I can wait. Sometimes I have something pre-planned if there aren't any questions or some, but
We could always do the global peace meditation if there's no.
how would we do that?
Read it. Have everybody close their eyes.
Okay, we could do that. If I can. I gave the sheet away, I think. Or maybe I didn't. Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that.
Okay, so we've been sharing a meditation. Actually, it's a series of meditations, and they're coming from a website. Actually, it's a group of people, a network of light workers that are truly international. They're all over the world. And the central website from which it's coming is globalpeacemeditation.com. Pretty simple. All together, globalpeacemeditation.com. And whenever really serious issues arise on the planet, they will adapt these meditations, which call very heavily on the action and grace and intervention of the divine, the feminine divine, which is very beautiful, of course. And this website and the headquarters of the group that gave birth to this global peace meditation is in. And if you go to their website, don't do that right now. They explain the global peace meditations, and currently the global peace meditation is, not surprisingly, for peace in Ukraine. And on their website, you can pick languages, and there's French, there's Spanish, there's English, there are all kinds
Multiple.
of languages, and I'm pretty sure there's Russian as one of the languages. So I was really interested to see the tack that, because I read the headline, Meditation for Peace in Ukraine. And what this is focusing on, and we're going to do this together here in a minute or so, unless a question pops up first, is that the intent of this meditation is to bring peace and healing to the whole situation between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO. See, there are a lot of parts and pieces to this. And so I believe that this is a meditation for peace that could as easily be prayed or meditated or by our brothers and sisters in Russia or any of the NATO countries or our friends in Ukraine. And it embraces everyone, which is very beautiful. I haven't seen much of that total embrace and inclusiveness in the things I've been seeing online. Pretty much people tend to pick a side, which is, well, our side is clearly end war. No more violence, no more war. Okay. And people can agree, I think, across the board on that. So shall we dive in?
What they're calling for, though, is for people to do this like 4 times a day.
Every 4 hours?
Every 4 hours. Yeah, that's right.
But it comes to about...
It comes to about, yeah.
Right. If you factor in we sleep.
Yeah. And so if you go to their website, you can find, what time zone you're in, and the people in your time zone that know about this will be joining in also. And the more of us that come together and do this, the bigger of an energy field it's going to help to create and be a lot more powerful and effective. But there are people all over the place doing this. And a lot of, groups like us are passing it on and spreading it. So we're hoping that, you'll spread it too. If you enjoy the meditation, go ahead and share it on Facebook, or, tell your friends and family about it if they're, so inclined to do some kind of a meditation like this.
And you'll read on the website, if it doesn't fit neatly doing it in those 4-hour slots where a lot of people are doing it at the same time all over the world, you can do it any time, because in spirit there is no time.
Right.
And you can do it all day long if you want. They also have an audio version, so you don't even have to think. They will guide you through the meditation in your own language. And it's about 15 minutes long, so it's manageable, really. If you got 15 minutes, you will feel different. This one changes things. So let's dive in.
Sure.
Okay.
Can I check Vimeo, make sure there's no questions?
All right.
No. Okay.
Right.
We'll resume our regularly scheduled program next week with the time.
Yeah. So here we go, and this is exactly the way it's done in the guided audio meditation. I'll just lead you through it. So close your eyes, and let's begin by just invoking the presence for a moment or two. Just connect with the presence. And now, use your own technique to bring you to a relaxed state of consciousness. Whether that's just opening to the presence or breath, whatever you're comfortable with, your own technique to bring you to a relaxed state. Let us do that. Now, state your intent to bring peace and healing to the situation between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO. Invoke the violet flame from its primary source to place a circle of protection around you during and after the meditation. Ask it to transmute anything that does not serve the light. Visualize a pillar of pink light emanating from the galactic central sun and then descending down through your body and deep into the center of the earth. Visualize this light flowing through your heart and then through your hands directly to everybody involved in the situation between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO. Harmonizing everyone and bringing peace. Let the pink light then flow onwards, healing all other conflicts worldwide. Ask the goddess presence, the divine feminine, to protect all Ukrainian nuclear plants and biolabs from any damage, to prevent any fallout. Visualize all those facilities safe and protected. Then, ask the goddess presence, the divine feminine, to direct energies of peace and harmony to all unresolved situations between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO, and everyone involved in these situations, especially protecting civilians from the military conflict in Ukraine. Let these energies then flow onwards and heal all other conflicts worldwide. Allow these energies to continue to flow through your heart and then through your hands into these situations for a few minutes. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means peace. Peace, peace, peace. So be it. I have no idea what John wrote. There is a clean animal that resides in the Kremlin. Don't water it down. Goodbye.
I don't think we need to read those out loud online anymore,
Well, it's
unless
right
it's
up there,
pertinent to.
you know. That's,
it's pertinent
that's
to what
so
happened.
easy to misunderstand and to be offended. So, yeah. Well, let me just. This is what I think of that. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Scrubbing bubbles.
Okay, let's move into blessings.
All
More
right.
blessings.
Let's check over here. Okay. Yeah. So, if you opened your eyes, you could just close them again. And take a dive into the depths of your spiritual heart. The center of your being. Here, deep within you, dwells the Divine Source. This presence who dwells within you at the center of your being is the source of all that exists. And it is pure, unconditional love. It is all-powerful, all-knowing, all-wise, and it loves you beyond your imagination. Receive. Welcome the embrace of the Divine Presence as it reaches out to you, drawing you into the center of oneness within yourself, oneness with the Divine Source. This presence yearns to illuminate your spirit, to clear and heal your soul with all of its charges and wrong thinking and programming, and your physical body as well, to heal you of disease, pain, suffering. It yearns to radiate from the center of your being through your spirit, your soul, your body, into your relationships, to heal them. Drink in the grace, the blessing. us in a circle, a blessing circle. And lift up your hands, open your palms, and invite the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing through you, through your heart, through your hands, out to all the others, participants sitting in the circle with you, knowing that they're doing the same and the blessing is flowing back to you through them. You can just relax her hand. And when you're ready, you could open your eyes and begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. As we begin the light meditation, Suzanne and I are flooded with divine grace, oceans of grace and light and love begin to pour through our whole being to you, especially through our eyes. The eyes are called the doorways of the soul. Just keep looking, and the light will stream in through your eyes into your spiritual heart, causing the light within you to expand. as the grace settles within. Now keep meditating as long as you like, as long as it feels nice to you. Or you could lie down in Shavasana. Find a place nearby, lie down on your back, close your eyes, let your arms be loosely at your sides with your palms open, turned upward. And just let yourself dissolve in gratitude in the presence. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings until we connect again.
Until then, the divine in us acknowledges and beholds the divine in you.